to another edition of NASCAR DFS Preview. I'm Austin with the Sports Chief, and we're coming to you live from a different location this week, but we're still going to give you some NASCAR DFS tips for the Folds of Honor QuikTrip 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So as you know, Atlanta Motor Speedway is a 1.5 mile oval. It eats away at tires pretty well. Track position is very key. It's very difficult to pass here. There's a lot of factors that come into this track. It's the oldest surface on the circuit in the Cup Series, so that's very important. Really, pit stalls are going to matter for sure, where you are pitting on pit road. There's going to be a lot of green flag runs, though. Aside from the stage breaks, there's going to be a lot of green flag racing. So if you watched the Xfinity and truck race on Saturday, you kind of saw that and how that played out. So it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of your front runners, looking at the stats, I think a lot of your front runners are going to be contenders in this race, of course, more so than any other event. It kind of looked like that. I believe Chase Elliott had the best average finish here, like 10th place. Things like, Matt Kenseth was pretty high. All the Busch brothers. So look at those. That's going to be very important. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what DraftKings has to offer for us. So looking here, as you can tell, Kevin Harvick is in 9th. He is the most expensive driver at 11.7. Kyle Busch starting in 4th at 11.2. Denny Hamlin starting in 10th at 10.8. Joey Logano starting in 3rd at 10.5. And Jimmy Johnson starting in 15th at 10.2. So we only have 5 drivers over 10K this week. Typically we average about 6. So I believe they're a little more forgiving in terms of salary. And also, they did rank it pretty much on driver, basically. Jimmy Johnson's pretty high there. But Jimmy is actually the winningest driver at Atlanta as far as active drivers go. He has won 5 races here. He won back-to-back a few years ago, but his last 3 starts he's finished in the 20s. So he's not been very consistent at this track as of late. Chase Elliott got the lucky draw, so he's on the pole. And then you're looking through here with Martin Truex, Kurt Busch. But going through this here, I had one driver that I really liked this week, and mainly because he hasn't won a race this year, which is very odd for him. He's one of the best in the business, and that's Kyle Busch. I'll just go ahead and say it. So he's starting in 4th. I really like his track position there in that 4th spot, and I think he'll be able to contend. I know he has Chase Elliott in front of him. I believe Eric Almirola has 2nd, and then Joey Logano's in 3rd. So Logano is actually one of the worst performing drivers among these top guys. Not that he's terrible, but he's not as consistent at this track as the others. That leaves us with $7,700. One driver to keep in mind is Kurt Busch. Kurt is a monster at this track. He hasn't finished outside the top 10, I believe, since 2009. And you can fact check me on Racing Reference, but he's doing pretty solid here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And that's a very good spot for him. I would probably be willing to pay a little less than that for the 12th spot. I think he'd probably get around 6 or 7. And it's not a bad pick. If you do not go with Kyle Busch, and you want to go with a more well-balanced lineup, Kurt Busch is a very good option. I do think, however, laps led are very important for this race. And I have a really good feeling that Kyle Busch is going to lead most of the laps of this race. But I'll just tell you what my strategy is here in a second. So if you scroll down here, one guy that I really like, and I kind of made my case for Matt Kenseth about whenever he took over for Kyle Larson. I don't think he'll be that great of a performer, but Atlanta Motor Speedway happens to be a track that he's very good at. He's in the 42 machine. Kyle Larson did perform well there. Chad Johnson was his crew chief, and they always had good setups coming to Atlanta. And him being in 19th spot, I think that's a really good spot for him, and I think he could get a top 12. So I'm going to go with Matt Kenseth with hopes that he could get close to a top 10. I think he will contend, so to speak. I believe the car is fast enough, and track position is very key, and I think he's one of the veteran drivers that can stay up there for sure. I think that's going to be really important. Tire management. Your tires are going to wear out really quick at this track. 4 tires. It's going to be really hard to do any kind of damage on 2 tires, to be honest with you, if people short pit or anything like that. So look forward to picking Matt Kenseth here. So that's what I'm going with. And then another driver that I'm very interested in is in Prevails. So I'm going with Prevails. starting in 27th spot. He started twice here in the Xfinity Series, and he's won once, and his average finish is second, I believe. So that tells you that he pretty much finished, I guess he finished third. It was second or third, but he's really good at this track, and it's a track that fits his style. I like 27th. I think he'll get a top 15. I think he'll really perform well at this track. And scrolling on down here, this is a little different strategy than usual, and this is definitely a tournament strategy that I'm using. So if you scroll down to Joey Gase, he's starting really, wow, 26th, J.J. Elliott 30th, Josh Bilicki 32nd, and he keeps scrolling up here. But Michael McDowell starting in 36th. I think that's a good spot for him. He's not that great at this track, but I think with that Front Row Motorsports team, he's actually finishing okay here as of late. If you click his name, he's just starting pretty decently high. So if he gets like 19th and he's starting 36th, that's a really good return. So I'm going with Michael McDowell. And if you don't go Michael McDowell, I would probably go between Ty Dillon, Preece, or Custer. That would be my three options. Custer, I'm just not sold on yet. I really want to go Cole Custer, but I like Michael McDowell in that spot. I think McDowell could even finish around where Custer is at. So that leaves us with $9,050. And there's one guy that I really want to pick, and this is what kind of irks me. So I'm going with Kevin Harvick. I'm going to have Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch in my lineup. They don't call it the Harvick line for a bad reason, for sure. He gets around this track better than anyone. He's led the most laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I really like Kevin Harvick starting at night. And I really like the fact that I think Kyle Busch could lead the first half of the race, and then Kevin could close it out. I just want guys leading that race and basically picking fillers that will finish higher than when they start. So with $6,400 to spend, here's where I'm at. So I'm at Austin Dillon, Ty Dillon, Ryan Preece, and Cole Custer. Don't think John Hunter Nemechek is a real option, or Chris Buescher. Buescher's starting way too high. So I'm really down to Ty Dillon or Austin Dillon. Preece, I think he'll be okay, but I like the RCR engines a little better. I think Dillon will finish around 16, and he could very well get a top 10. Cole Custer could get a top 10. It's probably a little more unlikely. So I'm going with Austin Dillon there in my spot. So there you have it. So we'll just clean this up here and close it out. As you can tell, I'm just using the big tournament there. So Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch going to the top two there right off the bat. Sneaking in here, getting Matt Kenseth. Hoping he's not too chalky. Past history shows he's really good here, so I like it. Maybe people will kind of go the Tyler Reddick route or William Byron. And then Christopher Bell, 27. Austin Dillon, 64. And then with my dark horse pick, Michael McDowell. Hopefully, if he gets a top 20, that's a big day. That would be a great day. So there you got it. Harvick, Busch, Kenseth, Bell, Dillon, and McDowell. So hopefully you have good luck with the Folds of Honor QuikTrip 500. It's a tough track for sure. Mile and a halfs are definitely my bread and butter. Short tracks are a little tough. I've come to find out that Bristol Motor Speedway seems kind of like a super plate. So best of luck to you. Hope this helps you out. If you like the content that you see here, comment on the section below this video. Like it, subscribe to our channel, click the bell notification, and that way you'll know whenever we post our videos. Follow us on Twitter at TheSportsChief, also on Instagram as well. So hope everybody has a fun race weekend, and best of luck to you at the Folds of Honor QuikTrip 500.